Hi, everyone.
Greetings, my friends.
It's the Jim
and Dave
Beer Review.
Hey, Dave, we are continuing with the 4 beers of Dave's Christmas.
Yeah, it's like the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
Right. If you don't brighten up, you're going to get a pock in the lips.
Pock in the lips.
Get it?
Okay, what we have here is
failure
Sierra
to
Nevada
Alert.
Porter.
Are you sure you want to quit all applications and log out now?
Yes. Yes, Lord. I want to quit all my applications and log out now.
That was funny. Wow, that's funky, man. What's up with that?
Well, you see,
This is a dark and roasty porter here. We have Sierra Nevada.
dark roasty porter.
Porters were invented as a fortifying drink in the rough and tumbling working class of London's bustling markets. It was brewed for good folks with
Good folks.
calluses on their hands.
Calluses.
During work they needed to be done, we salute those working class heroes with our classic porter, brewed in the hop-forwarded American style and featured a depth of malt flavor and complexity with roasted notes of black coffee and coca. The origins of porter, and I know there's a whole lot more than this, but I wanted to read this because I'd like to know where
We've done that before, haven't we?
We did this one. Did we? I don't know.
I
We'll do it
think we did
again.
One of them.
We'll do it
just
again.
Stick to the shit on the bottom.
Okay. Alcohol
They
by
go to the
volume.
website.
He
The
tells
link
me
is-
what to do, and I go, okay.
The link is posted below.
Alcohol content 5.6 by volume. Beginning gravity is 13.8 Plato. The ending gravity is 3.5 Plato. Where that 0.3% goes, I have no clue.
Well, that's
In
obviously
my gut.
that's obviously an effect of the brewing process.
Bitterness units is 32, which I like. The bittering hops is Aurora. The finishing hops are Yakima Golding. The malts are 2-row pale, Munich, chocolate, caramel, black, and carafa. The yeast is ale yeast. The cuisine, the food pairings go with prime rib, dark chocolate, espresso-based desserts, blackened Louisiana seafood.
Nice. All right. And let's just see if it says anything in the bottle here. I'll let you open yours first. It says here, before Sierra Nevada was a reality, nights were spent perfecting homebrew recipes and dreaming of starting a brewery. One of our favorite beers was a porter, made before roasted malts were readily available. We spent time in the kitchen
Imagine that.
roasting barley for our own malt. Nice. The result is a big malt flavor, rich, bittersweet, and roasted. Sounds typical. Oh, look at you. You're all ahead of the game. Nice.
Das for diamonds.
Look at you. You got a big head over there. Let's see.
I know. People tell me that all the time.
All right. Not as much as you, but I got a finger at least.
Yep. I have a finger.
Wow. Oh, hey. This has like about a 95% opacity. I can see a little bit of the bright light over their throat. It is, very dark, but it's not 100% opaque. So maybe this is not as dark or as heavy as the other ones we drank.
I've read, like I said, I saw a thing on YouTube for a porter that looked more like an ale.
Wow.
So imagine that.
Well, maybe they just didn't have the malts as roasted.
They talked about the yeast being lighter or something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I believe that this porters are just a form of ale being top fermenting, if I'm not mistaken.
Sniffer.
Oh, by the way, the cream, it's a very light color. This isn't a really dark foam.
It smells like chocolate. Chocolat.
My nose isn't working too well today. Let's see.
Very lightly smell it.
Yeah, it's a very light smell. Definitely lightly roasted notes. This is nowhere near as heavy as a smell as their coffee stout. Excuse me.
This is more chocolat.
Than
Than
I'm not getting a whole lot of chocolate myself, but
I'm getting chocolate.
yeah, not a whole.
Bit of vanilla.
Maybe a hint.
A hint.
All right.
It's a very.
Yeah, I'm not getting a whole lot
in
of
the
scent out of
background,
this.
there's a bit of. Not a lot of roastiness. Not a lot of dark.
I'm getting Oh, well, interesting. Nicely going down, good mouthfeel. Little interesting flavor on the back end. A little bit of an aftertaste. Aftertaste is staying with me. How would I categorize this aftertaste? A little bit on the sour side.
Yeah, a little bit on the sour side.
Interesting. Does it have a date thing? But that could be intentional. You never
Where are
know.
my glasses? I'm not gonna read this.
I'm not seeing a date thing, but this was for the winter, so this is part of their snowpack. So this is the season that should be here. So I wouldn't think it'd be turned. This is probably the intentional flavor.
No, Sierra Nevada wouldn't do that to you, Jim.
Yeah, no, they're pretty good about stuff. Of course, we did once upon a time have a Yingling that was turned.
Not every beer is perfect.
The Lord Chesterfield, remember you got that at Wegmans?
Yeah, I never liked that.
Well, we didn't like it because it was past its time.
Yeah, but
we didn't even finish reviewing
who
it.
buys that? I never even seen a review.
Well, I just don't think that they should be on the shelves that long. If it's skunked, it's too old. But we're talking about a different beer, not this one.
Did you talk to Austin Brewery this week at all about that 3-pack one last week?
I've been over there since I bought it.
Okay.
It is a shame. We had the Samuel Smith gift 3-pack, and we were convinced that all three were stale because they've all gotten such good reviews, and we were like, yuck, yuck, yuck. Generally, like the double chocolate stout, and that particular one was kind of good flavor, but then it just had the
$9.
Yeah, ridiculous.
One bottle.
But we digress.
I know.
Dave, thoughts about the flavor?
I smell coca, but I taste roastiness like coffee. I don't taste the vanilla, but
Going down is very nice. I wouldn't categorize it being super smooth, but all in all, this is not bad. I would buy this. I mean, not first choice buy, but it's definitely not on the do not buy list. I'm glad I got it as part of the sampler, if you will, the snowpack, I believe the case was called.
it's always good to get samplers.
Oh yeah, well that's the best way to try stuff,
Yes.
Dave, give us a number, buddy.
Give it an 8.
8. Wow. Okay.
Maybe a 7.5. No, 7.5.
Well, I was actually going to say 7.5. I mean,
Yeah.
it's generally pretty good. Now,
I usually give porters and stouts a little more than I think sometimes they should get because I just love the
if this was
fineness and darkness of beer.
Well, what we've tried to do is, since there's so many varieties of beer, we do things two ways. We have a general overall number, and then we sometimes have it in the category. So if this was just in the stout
I
category,
give it a 7.5, and if it was just a regular beer, I give it an 8.
okay. So generally, Dave's giving it an 8.
7.75. Or 3.83 or something. If you divide it by 2 and add.
What, are you going for
7
3/8 or something?
And divide by the 2
Better stick to halves.
and add the 1.
Well,
Before
if
you
you,
divide
hey,
5.
if you want to split hairs, that's fine.
Get pie.
For me, generally I like it. Now listen, just if we do a beer review and something's not knocking on a 10 or 9, that is not necessarily a bad thing.
Anything over 6 is more or less something I may buy.
Right. revisit. But actually, we will be revisiting other beers in the future because as we went back and been renaming our beer reviews so that the beer
There's
name
a
is first.
whole lot of beer left to go, and a whole lot of beer we never even tried before. And I never knew they had so many beers. When I was younger, I thought there was only like 4 different kind of beers.
Yeah, basically.
There was like Budweiser,
Miller,
and there was Miller,
Coors,
and there was Coors, and there was Labatt.
and
That's all I
Black
knew.
Label.
That's more like a...
Oh, well, I was at King of Prussia Beer Outlet, and they had a Christmas tree decorated with beer cans. Black Label was one of the ones, the cans on there. I was like, where'd you get that
Black
can?
Label is more like a malt liquor, wasn't it?
No idea.
No.
That was before my time. I just remember
Malt
seeing
liquor.
it in the beer store.
That's the kind of thing back in the day. You sit around Norristown and you sit around seeing some guy drinking out of a baggie with a big bottle and called a 40.
All right, well, that's the Jimm and Dave beer review. And please, don't drink and drive. Pregnant women should not drink alcohol.
No.
If you're under 21,
Yes.
don't watch this and don't drink. You
Yes.
guys got plenty of time, even
Yes.
though it might seem fun. Unless you're in military service, in which case you're willing to give your life for your country.
Should
Have
be
one
able
on
to
me,
drink
quite
for
frankly, or
yes.
specifically
I'll
Dave.
buy you one.
And we do appreciate your time.
Yes.
Please comment below. Give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel.
Yes.
Yada, yada, yada. All YouTube
yada,
disclaimers.
yada,
I hope I
yada.
cut this stuff out in editing
Yada,
because
yada,
no one wants to hear me say it over and over again every goddamn beer review.
yada,
Dave, don't swear. It's almost close to Christmas. And, hey, we're
Snowpack.
doing this.
Narwhal. Snowpack.
Nice.
Yes.
But,
Snowpack.
hey,
Yes.
enjoy the season. This is the reason we do this. We want to drink great beer
And have a good laugh or two.
with our friends.
Yes.
Won't you be our friend?
Yes. Be our neighbor. But only if you're really hot.
Merry Christmas, Dave.
Merry Christmas, Jim.